Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 7th, and happy birthday to my dear friend, Tony Delgado, Joan Cups' husband, Joan Cups Delgado's husband. Gee, let's see what's going on in Vegas today. Besides this beautiful weather, oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. Thank you all for joining today. Give you a shout out. Love to hear from you. Tell me you're watching, ask questions, things like that. Yeah, we need more interaction, right? Okay, let me see. Let me just take this down for a second. Okay, we are going to talk about the stats. If I can put, there we go. Yeah, well, I don't know about you all, but this market is almost like high anxiety. You know, it's hi, good morning, Frank. I know that's you. I know that's you. Good morning. Yeah, this market, I don't know about you all, but it's kind of high anxiety. Thank you, baby. Coffee, my coffee. The puppies are still playing in my studio, which is our family room. So anyway, well, we got 0.68 months of inventory, which, you know, oh, that's yesterday. Oh gosh, I knew it went down. Hold on, everybody. See what happens when you get in a hurry. One of my agents called me this morning, and I got tied up talking with her and made a mistake here. Okay, let's put this one up. There we go. All right, everybody. So we have 0.65 months of inventory. Y'all put up with me. I love it. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Oh, it's Happy National Beer Day. Of course it is. I love that. That's really cool. That's really cool. It's me. I know, it's Frank. So we have 1,882 homes available. Yesterday we had 1,966. Well, that's because we put 136 under contract. Yay, yay, Karen, yay, yay, Karen. I know I was out in that doing my walk this morning, and I guess there's some pollen out there or something. Ooh, sorry if I'm sniffling. So we did 136 under contract, and we only listed 87. Come on, we got to list more houses. But I'll tell you that, you know, one of our agents listed a house today, or is listing a house today, and already has a buyer for it. So there you go. We listed a house. One of our property manager, you know, what's happened in property management, a lot of these houses are selling because the owners who have been underwater for quite some time are seeing the profits and they're taking them. So, you know, we have that going on. Then we have investors buying them. So, you know, the cycle continues in real estate. I just love it. But anyway, yeah, so we only listed 87 yesterday. So we put one on the market and it sold same day. To people from Alaska who've never even seen it, you know, in person. And I think we have a lot of that going on. Of course, there's some liabilities when we do things like that. So we have to be careful when we do things like that because you have to, it's just touchy. You just have to ask your broker how to handle it. And because every broker handles things differently. And you know, the liability all stops with the broker. Yeah. All righty. So let's see. We are selling. Seems like more. Says we're selling 113 and a half homes a day. That figure's going to go up. Guarantee you that figure's going to go up. Last month we did 151 homes a day. So look at this, Karen. Oh my gosh. She had one on the market for 24 hours and had 51 offers. So kid, if you're listening out there, you know, what's going on is going on, just like, you know, your situation. So things are moving quickly, very quickly. Wow, 51 offers. Holy mackerel. Was it priced right, Karen? Tell me. I mean, was it just priced right? Did they get above list? You know, that's going on too. So, and then you have the appraisal issue. Appraisers are being very cautious. I don't know, everybody. It gives me anxiety, just to be honest. This market gives me anxiety. I wish Jimmy were here to help me today, but I guess he's busy. So anyway, I mean, he's got a lot of agents he manages. I know that. So here we are. And one of the things that I wanted to bring everybody's attention to, and I said I was going to give you a Facebook tip today before we get into Are You in a Funk? And the Facebook tip is, look at the market, and the market's going to tell you. Let's see. I'm sorry. I know I'm interrupting myself 100 times here, but I love the interaction. Yes. And lower price home. Yes. Above list. Cash buyer 1. Probably a quick close too, if I had to guess. I've never seen. Oh, he is here. Oh, my prayers have been answered. Oh my God, Jimmy, you've answered my prayers.
Oh, good. Sorry, I was late.
That's fine. I'm having high anxiety over this market.
Well, have we turned the corner? I mean, there's more listings last night. There's more listings the day before. So we've actually gone the right way the last couple of days.
Well, today we're back down to 0.658. I know.
So maybe we just didn't turn the corner. Maybe we just went over a speed bump.
I think that was it. We only listed 87 yesterday. I had an agent call me this morning. She put her house on the market. It sold in one day. She was afraid when she put that on the MLS, that was going to be a problem with other agents. And Karen saying she had one on the market for 24 hours and had 51 offers. I mean,
wow.
I get anxious. I just get anxious.
And I want to thank Karen for letting us know it's National Beer Day today. Thank you, Karen.
Right. Jimmy, I'm so happy to see you. I mean,
well, thank you.
I really am. I needed help today.
Okay.
Well, I just feel.
This is off topic here, but I'll give you a little assistance here.
Sure.
I was listening to, the reason I was late, I was listening to a TED Talk, and the guy talked about ethics, about right and wrong. And, we teach ethics at your office. And he said, right and wrong changes over time. And he reminded us of the time when they used to do public beheadings at the Bastille in France. I mean, you take your kids, let's go see this guy get his head cut off, in front of everybody. And that was the right way to do it. I'm going to teach these kids a lesson. Look what can happen to you if you do something wrong. I mean, there might have actually been a moral purpose to that. Look what can happen to you. I'm going to give you the bony finger here. Oh, chop your head off. We'll chop your head off. That's pretty extreme. And then he started talking about slavery. And he said, the Incas had slavery and China had slavery. Everybody had slavery. Everybody had it. And it didn't make it morally right. But he said when oil came along and the industrial age and the machines would do the work of 100 people or 1,000 people, we didn't need slaves anymore. And now all of a sudden the abolitionists actually had a chance at getting rid of slavery. But he said until this technology changed or until this industrial age happened, he said slavery was a fact of life. To produce the food we needed to feed the planet. And we didn't have that many people on the planet. But slavery was okay. And then he started talking about gay marriage. And he said the Pope, when he was a cardinal in 2010, came out and said it's an abomination. Nobody could ever do this. In 2013, he becomes the Pope. And he says, who am I to judge? And now this last year, he came out and said, look, civil unions are okay. What was right to this guy, even 10 years ago, what's right, that was his whole point of his talk, his TED Talk. Right and wrong change over time. If you think something is right, wait 10 years. Wait 20 years and see how right it is. And my point with this is this. We had a discussion about escalation clauses in offers.
Yes. Yes, we did.
The real estate division says they think it violates the fair dealing thing. The Nevada Association of Realtors, the Nevada Association, their attorney came out and said they think it's illegal or a violation of the law or the regulation. And I don't agree because I think you can do it. So I wonder how much opinions are going to change on that over the next 2-3 months of this market. The market's been very competitive. Yeah,
and I think I really think we have to do. I don't know. Well, I don't know what we have to do. I think that's my anxiety. What do we have to do to not get so many offers? Is that a bad thing to say?
Well, it's the truth is it's not within our control. The market is not within our control, and we just do the best we can for our clients. And if that means I had a discussion with another broker friend of mine, and he says, for the same buyer to put in 5 offers, that's part of what's heating up the market, and he thinks that's an unethical thing to do. And I said, well, it's not unethical if you can do it, and I can do it, and she can do it, and they can do it. if everybody can do it, it's ethical. And I got to get my buyers a house.
Right. Yeah. And we've had that situation in our office where, you know, and both offers were accepted by the two different sellers. And so then, of course, they had to, you know, I mean, you got that 10 days due diligence, you got the out. Yep. So, you know, somewhere along the way, of course, we never anticipated this type of a market. So our guidelines and laws don't guide us or help us to navigate. I mean, I don't know. I'm like you. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, and the challenge is by the time we figure it out, the market will have changed again on us. We'll figure it out. Then, oh man, it's a different market now. Gosh darn it.
Well, we do learn through experience. We do learn, you know, the best way to deal with things is by doing them. So yeah, we're navigating through it. And you and I are brokers, and John's a broker, and it's you know, I get asked a lot of questions that I really have to say, I don't have the answer right this minute, but I got to think about it. I have to think about all the different tails this question has, you know, and right. Liabilities, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So today I just wanted to, first of all, give everybody a tip on Facebook, and then what we're going to talk about is, are you in a funk? And our friend Brian Buffini is going to help us with that. And we're going to listen to part of his, or watch part of his YouTube today. And then I'm going to let everybody else watch the rest of it. But I think the beginning of it it may be helpful for some people, because one of the things, and I'll just tell you briefly, that he's saying, you know, there's 3 types of funks. And the worst funk is when you don't know you're in one, but we'll get to that. Let me talk a little bit about Facebook, which I promised everybody a bonus tip today. So let's see, my screen, which one? Okay, let me get out of there, get out of there. And let's see if this is it. No, that's not it, so hide that. Like this. Okay, I'm going to put this on the screen and hide us for a minute. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. So can everybody still hear me while I'm talking? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I just want everybody to know that this is in the back of your business page. If you are doing any type of ads, there's something called Lead Center. And as you can see, we continue to get leads. And we're getting most of our leads from the virtual tour ad that we produced, because we're targeting California. So that's why that happens to be working. So let me show you, see if I get this right. First came when I need them. Okay, here's the results. And one of the things, here's the tip of the day. What you need to do when you're running ads, and you should be running ads, there's not a better time to do it, is you need to view your results, and you need to review them daily, weekly, and monthly to see if your ad is performing or not. Now, it can be your headline. It can be that you're doing a video, not a carousel. It can be that you're not doing the right image. Those 3-4 things. So if you can look at this, John got 3,544 post engagements out of 8,506 people reached. And this went to California. And he only paid a penny for the engagement. And he only paid a penny for the engagement because when here's what Facebook did in the past 3 months, beginning in January. They have the ability to see if people are spending 3 seconds or more on a video that you post. Now, everybody knows that when you take our class, we have, excuse me, the relocation video. And people watch that for 3 seconds. And so we know, and that's one of the things that we sell in our class, is that we sell you that ad because it works. And you get engagement. And we know that because we look at the results. So if your results aren't good, you can make them better by changing the headline, changing the image is probably the most important thing you can do. And then maybe the text. So you need to experiment. Don't create an ad and then say, well, it didn't work, I'm not going to use Facebook anymore. No. It's the creator. It's not the consumer, it's the creator. So I just want everybody to know there's a little button that just says view results. You go right away and you can watch it on a daily basis and see for a week if it's getting engagement. If it isn't, you need to change something. And one of the things that we know is that people are watching this for longer than 3 seconds. And so then we know the video is working. And some people like carousels. Like if you're doing an ad to California that says, would you like to see this $350,000 house? It's coming soon on the market, right? And then you do a carousel of pictures of the house, and you see if you get engagement with that type of ad. And then maybe you do the next week you do a video of the house and see if you get better engagement with that. Different people like different types of imagery. And that's one of the tips of the day that my Facebook mentor that I have a Facebook session every week or every 10 days, excuse me. And that's one of the things that she's told me. And then when you find that sweet spot, what you're going to do then is create a lookalike audience. And if you want to learn how to do it, you're going to have to come look at our calendar, come to our social media Thursday sessions or our social media class. So anyway, that's my tip for the day on Facebook. But I mean,
let me build on that for a second, sure. Because like you said, you can change the thumbnail, you can change the picture, you can change the text, you can change the headline. There's a very famous marketing story about Nordic Track. When they were selling Nordic Track, they were using infomercials on TV. So you get to see the person on, they were 30-minute infomercials. People would watch this thing for 30 minutes. And then they had to decide whether to pull the trigger or buy. And their call to action said, operators are standing by. They changed their call to action to, if the lines are busy, call back. They didn't change the 30-minute infomercial except for that one line. They changed one line. Wow. Sales went through the roof. If the lines are busy, call back. That means there's like people standing in line to buy this thing. Operators are standing by, checking their nails and combing their hair. Operators, totally different thing. So here's the point. If you had a picture of a house up and you said, you wait, you lose, or you snooze, you lose. That builds the urgency. It's almost an in-your-face message. You loser. That's the message. You loser. You wait, you lose. Don't wait. Get on the call. Let's find out, are you a player for this house or not? Because it's going to be gone. In Karen's example, 51 offers in 24 hours. I think what a great message that is for a seller. Thinking of selling 51 offers, 24 hours. Call us. Find out how. Find out how we got 51 offers. What a great evidence of success for Karen and her agent. 51 offers in 24 hours. It's scary for us as a listing agent, but it's also a convincer for a potential seller. If we want to get listings, man, that's a heck of an opener.
Absolutely. And I also have learned, Jimmy, that the stories on Facebook. So if you are doing an ad, okay, so the stories last 24 hours, but an ad can appear just, as long as you want it to appear. And the tip for stories and story ads is you need to make them non-professional. And because people and stories are looking for authenticity, something, like you're walking in front of the house and you're saying something about the red bathroom or something that draws the attention. And then you need to tell them to swipe up and send them to a place where they can get information or give you their email. Email is still the #1 way that people are going to communicate with you in advertising versus giving you their phone number. So, and people, look, the evidence is here. People are buying homes.
Right.
And a lot of them, I had an agent, excuse me, my allergies from this morning are driving me crazy. Anyway, I had an agent yesterday that comes to our CE classes, And she says, and I was showing her Sandy's video because Sandy's video is so good. And Sandy says, if you're from California, you know, da, 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 da. And she goes on to say the ad. And so the gal said, well, why would you just say California? And I said, because target marketing is where it's at.
Right, right.
If you are marketing to everyone, you're not marketing to anyone.
Agreed.
Got to target your market to the price range, to the state, to everything, and you will get results. And you don't want what you want, people that want what you're offering. Anyway, there's Facebook is really performing. So,
well, Facebook gives us the ability to narrowcast. Instead of broadcast something, Facebook gives us the ability to narrowcast to a specific audience, the specific message. The definition of strategy is the right things to the right people at the right time for the right reasons. And Facebook allows us to segment that. Really powerful tool.
And what I was just saying on the engagement factor, Facebook knows that somebody watched that video for more than 3 seconds. So guess what Facebook does? They put that particular ad in front of more people because people engage with it. That's the secret sauce. When you find that you're getting engagement, Facebook will then put that ad in front of more people. So you don't want to be, you want to look at your analytics and make sure that you're advertising things that people are engaging with, or Facebook won't put your ad in front of people. So that's why I'm saying, is it the image? Is it the carousel? Is it the video? Whatever, is it a GIF? Whatever it is that's getting people's attention, you need to be monitoring that to get the best results for the least amount of price. So that's the tip of the day for that.
Okay.
So you want to listen to some, I just love this. I don't know. I woke up, well, I've been waking up a little bit frantic about this market. I don't know. It just, I don't know if I have where my antennas are, but they're, they're driving me crazy here. Okay. So how to get out of a funk. And Brian Buffini tells us that there's 3 kinds of funk. There's the funk you know you're in. And the old rhythm and blues used to say, you know, you got the blues, right?
Yeah.
You got the blues. And number 2, you're not sure that you're in the funk, but you're rubbing people the wrong way.
Oh, my goodness.
That's another funk.
Yeah.
And you think it's them, but it's you. And then the third funk is you don't know you're in it until you're out of it. And that's the worst kind. So he says, and you've heard this before, the way you get into a funk is you drift. You're drifting.
Yes.
And I think, you know, I'm so excited about the 100 Days to Greatness because I think it can pull people back in if they're drifting. And people might be drifting right now because we've been isolated. You know, we've gone through this funky time of the pandemic, and they might be drifting because they just don't know what to do with this market. I mean, there's a lot of, and so they're just shutting the world out. So let's watch this. I think it's going to be really good. Okay. And yes. We're not going to watch the whole thing, everybody. So I'm going to cut it off in the middle, but I'll let you know where to go to watch the rest of it. So this is like a teaser.
Okay.
Welcome to the Brian Buffini Show, where we explore the mindsets, motivation, and methodologies of success. Here's your coach, Brian Buffini.
Well, the top of the morning to you, and welcome to the Brian Buffini Show. Thanks for joining me today. So today's topic is how to get out of a funk. And there are 3 types of funks. And there's the funk you know you're in, where you're down, things aren't right, things aren't clicking, you're out of sorts, you're not even sure why, but you're just in a funk, right? As the old jazz singers say, you got the blues. The second type of funk is you're not sure you're in a funk, but you seem to be rubbing people the wrong way. and you're saying things and you're getting reactions from people, and it's like, what's wrong with them? Well, it turns out you might be in a funk, and that's why you're rubbing people the wrong way. And then lastly is the funk you don't know you're in until you get out of it. And that's probably the most dangerous one of all. And that's why we always want to be pursuing those things that help us change our mindset, improve our attitudes, help us perform and operate at kind of our best. Because when you start pursuing that type of lifestyle, sometimes you realize, my goodness, I've been out of sorts for a while. And it just happens. And it happens because of drift. It doesn't happen because no one ever decided in their life, I'm going to begin a funk today. I'm going to get out of sorts today. I'm going to start being more depressed today. No one ever makes that decision. It's you get out of a routine, something happens in your life, you have a setback, maybe there's a pandemic, maybe someone's lost their job, maybe your favorite restaurant and your favorite show has gotten canceled, or this and all these different things are happening. And bit by bit, maybe there's a little bit of negativity in the news. Maybe things haven't gone your way. Maybe you don't like where things are going around you. And the next thing you know, you're not quite where you want to be. And you don't really know how you got there. And it's this slow, quiet killer. And it's a drift. And so we're going to talk about it today, is how to get out of a funk. And this is going to be helpful no matter where you're at. I don't know what your state of mind is today. But people have said to me all the time, Brian, I've been following you for 25 years. You're always so positive. You're always so fired up, and you're always so enthusiastic. That is not a true statement. I am not always fired up. I'm just more fired up than not. I get in and out of funks all the time. And here's what I think success is that there's a short amount of time between being in a funk and getting out of one. That's it. It's a short amount of time. And sometimes a funk can last a year or several years. Sometimes what happens is you get into a funk and then you become funky, which is you start to ingrain those behaviors, ingrain those thoughts, start to justify, start to become a victim to your circumstance instead of being victorious over them. And so we've all met people like that. We meet people who are so cemented in their thought life, and they've victimized themselves, and they've turned it over and over and over again. And they're not just in a funk, they are now funky. They're difficult, they're down, they're negative, and just not cool to be around. How does that happen? Well, what I do is I always start with me. Like, where am I at? Am I operating at the top of my game? Now, one of the things that's I'm kind of in tune with is how people receive me. So when I say something and my wife has a reaction to it, I have learned over 30 years of marriage to go, okay, what did I just say and what did she just hear? How was it delivered? I might have even said something positive, but I might have done it in a funky way. And so what I've done is use that a lot to see where I'm at. Now, that doesn't mean if somebody's funky with you or someone has a bad reaction to you that you're out of sorts, but it is a good clue. And I'm going to be candid with you. Coming out of this pandemic, I've had conversations with people who I know are spending a lot of time by themselves. And I've had conversations with them, and I know who these people are. And I'm like, wow. They don't know what kind of energy they're giving off right now. They don't know how negative they are. They don't know, wow, how kind of harsh they just communicated that. It's obvious to me. Not that I'm having a reaction to it. They're just not aware. And again, we've just come through a circumstance where people have been in lockdown, where there's been cultural lockdowns, societal lockdowns. People are down in the dumps. Back home in Ireland, outside of China, the Irish have had the most severe lockdowns of all. And I got to be honest with you, when I talk to people at home, they are down in the dumps. And it's just to what degree they're down in the dumps, to be candid with you. So it's tough times, tough times. So whether you know you're in a funk, whether you find yourself you're rubbing people the wrong way, or you're not sure where you're at, when you start pursuing the right types of things in the right kind of way, you'll find maybe I was in a funk. And now you're like the submarine. You come up above the surface of the water, take on the fresh air, and it's like, oh my goodness, I was a little further down in the depths than I realized. So that's what I have in store for you today. Hopefully this helps you. Whatever is good for you. Like I always say, eat the meat, throw away the bones. I hope there's something in this for you today. So the three things I want to get into today is the first thing is what's wrong with me. That's the first place we get to when we start doing the whole conversation about a funk. What's wrong with me? Secondly, I want to talk about how to navigate the funk, because you don't instantly get out of one. And then I'm going to give you the step-by-step process of how to get out of a funk. And so if you're feeling great, this will be great fuel for the future, or even encouragement that maybe you can give somebody else if they're not doing so good. So first and foremost, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me starts with the voice in our head. And, you know, do you know that 98% of all communication with a human being is with themselves? The vast majority of our communication are things we say to ourselves. And you say things, and I say things to myself you would never say to anybody else. You would never walk to me, you lazy, fat, stupid. How could you be so stupid? You would never say that to people. Very rarely would a person say that to another human being. We say stuff like that to ourselves all the time. You always do this. And so we have the little voice in our head. And the negative thoughts just spiral. That's one of the reasons why next week I'm going to do an interview with a fantastic gentleman by the name of Ethan Cross, who wrote this great book called Chatter. And it's the voice in our head, why it matters and how to harness it. You know, one of the dynamics about this pandemic, one of the things that's happened for me, that's rarely do I kind of follow the crowd, but I've gotten back into golf. Now, a couple of reasons for it is I'm officially an empty nester. All my kids are out of the house. And my golf game was put on the shelf while I was raising my kids and involved in their lives and sporting events and all that stuff. And so now Beverly and I, she's getting more into the horses and I'm getting back into golf. And I'm loving it, and I'm hating it at the same time. I hate how bad I've gotten, but I'm loving being out there. I'm meeting some new people and getting a bit of life back in. And one of the things that's been fascinating is I'm starting to play a little game of golf. Is I've been taking some lessons, getting some coaching, improving, but the little voice in my head appears all the time. And a great example of this is I went down to the range the other day and I had a practice session, and I hit chip shots for an hour. And I'm going to tell you, in an hour, I didn't hit one bad chip shot in an hour of practice. Myself and my brother Dermot were out playing golf, this beautiful golf course called Pelican Hill in Southern California, right in Newport Beach, overlooking the oceans, kind of like Southern California's Pebble Beach. And I'm playing a golf, and I'm hitting the ball okay, and I have a chip shot. And it's the identical chip shot that I practiced for an hour the day before. And I must have hit hundreds of chip shots and didn't miss one. Now, you know where the story's going. I'm standing over the ball, and this thought comes into my head. Don't blade it, which means kind of hit it in the middle of the ball, send it over the green. And I went ahead and swung, and what did you think happened? Of course, I bladed the chip shot. Now, here's the thing. It had nothing to do with my skill. It had nothing to do with my preparation. It had nothing to do with my attitude. It was the little voice in my head, and I listened to the little voice in my head. And that's why the game of golf can be a head wrecker itself. Joyce Meyer, the famous evangelist, says, being negative only makes a difficult journey more difficult. You may be given a cactus, but you don't have to sit on it. She's got that Texas kind of wit. Bryant McGill said, negative self-talk and negative affirmation can keep you anchored in old thought patterns and identities. So we have to constantly, so the answer for me is, yeah, I need to have the chipping game, but B, I need to arrest the thought. And the rest of the thought is this. Hey, don't blade this chip shot. Take a breath. Hey, you just practice this for an hour. You got this. I just needed to take a second and introduce the new thought. That's all. We all have negative thoughts. We all have self-deprecating thoughts. We all have doubt. It's what it means to be human. We all have this. The question is, we don't have to believe it, and we don't have to buy into it. The second contributor to the what's wrong with me funk is isolation. Isolation. Now imagine this. We've had a situation where in the world, governments of the world and state governments, some states more than others, have mandated that people are in isolation. That's what we need to do. Social distancing. Isolation. They've asked us to be in isolation. And if you think about it, you know, the isolation is kind of a dangerous thing. And so today people are more isolated than they've ever been. In fact, even work life. Stanford study just came out that 42% of the entire U.S. labor force are now working from home. For the love of Mary, 42%. That not since America was an agrarian culture have people work from home like this, okay? So we are naturally being driven to isolation. And so the Spanish essayist Miguel Diamundo said, isolation is the worst possible counselor. And the great Bishop Desmond Tutu, along with Nelson Mandela, helped end apartheid in South Africa. He said this, a person is a person through other relationships. You can't be human in isolation. You're only human in relationships. Now, here's the thing. People are the most difficult thing in life, but people are also the greatest thing in life. And we are designed to be in relationship with other people. Now, I will tell you that during this time, I have learned to enjoy my own company more than I ever have. But I will also tell you, I have now learned to enjoy the company of others more than I ever have. And I'm getting more connection and more joy out of my friendships and relationships than I have in a long time. And it's because they were absent for a while. So the isolation, I hope, can bring you to a place where, no, I'm just good by myself. I used to be by myself. I'm going to stay by myself. I'm going to live in my sweatpants and jammies and do Zoom calls. And that's just where I want to be. Long term, that's not how human beings were designed. That's not, in my faith tradition, how God created us to be. So we have to make sure that we're in relationship. We've got to connect and get out of isolation. The last thing that gets into what's wrong with me is poor intake. Poor intake. What are we listening to? What are we watching? When we're isolated, where do people turn? Well, we know they go to social media and the news. Consumption between 2019 and 2020 of U.S. digital media was up 215%, and we're seeing that escalate beyond that. According to a Reuters study, 90% of news is negative. So we're increasing our intake by 215% of something that's 90% negative. I wonder what our chances are. I wonder what encouragement there is. I mean, I have deleted news apps from my phone. I was starting my day. I'd get up early, and the first thing I'd do was I'd reach for my phone. I'd see what was going on. I'd check a couple of different news apps on the stock market. And then I decided I'm not going to do any of that. Zero of that. By the way, I'm not a day stock watcher trader. I invest for the long haul. So what am I doing that for? But with these headlines and sometimes the clickbait of the headlines, I was starting my day off. It's dark outside. It's 5 in the morning, and I've just started out with the most negative thing in the world, or some stupid sentence that somebody said, some childish, petty sentence from a petty politician or a petty person or a minor celebrity, and it's headline news. Why? Because these people get paid when I click onto their site. They're paid to entice me, to click me into starting my day off in a funk. So here's what I do. Here's a little habit. I've taken my phone, and it charges in the bathroom. So when I'm up and I'm already going, I'm up and about, I've gotten a nice morning going before I check the phone. Before I check the phone. So Colin Powell said, bad news isn't wine. It doesn't improve with age. And Alexis Ohanian, who's Serena Williams' husband, the co-founder of Reddit. So there's a guy that is the founder of a social media site that's now on the front news for all this GameStop stock and all that thing. Here's his quote. Now, this is a guy who started a social media site. He said, it takes discipline not to let social media steal your time. Well, there it is. There's the warning label. You know, they have a warning label on cigarettes, but apparently not on social media. Back in 1920, W.H. Auden said, what the mass media offers is not popular art, but entertainment which is intended to be consumed like food, forgotten and replaced by a new dish. That's 100 years ago. There were no Facebook then. There were no news apps then. Guess what? Human nature hasn't changed. What has happened in our world is the bad news gets to us quicker, more directly, and through our phones. And you know, the other day, I went out for a workout, and I had a long day at the office, and I forgot my phone. And I'm going to be candid with you. I am not a social media hog. I do not spend when I get my weekly report of screen time, it's pretty reasonable. But I'm going to tell you, I was like a crack addict scratching around without having my phone. I actually had one of my staff drive down to the house because I was in here doing some broadcast work to get my phone. Now, again, my main thing is who's calling me, what messages, I don't want to be rude, that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you, I was, where's my phone? So the media can now get direct access to us. And it's very, very powerful. So if you're in a funk, just first of all, I want to tell you this. There's nothing wrong with you. You're a human being. There's nothing wrong with you. You're a human being. Human beings are built. Life is designed to have peaks and valleys. All great stories, they have what's called story arcs. You know, long before Andy Dufresne gets to the beach in Say-Wantaneo, he has to go through a lot of highs and a lot of lows, which is why so many people love that movie. The fact of the matter is, so is life. We have highs, we have lows. We have times we're fired up, we have times when we're just at the bottom.
So, Jimmy, I'm going to put the link here for everybody to go and finish that, because it's another 20 minutes and we don't have 20 minutes. But I wanted everybody to be aware that it is there, and it is really, I've listened to it a couple times, as I usually do with his things, because he has got packed so much information into, you know, that 40 minutes. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention today, because I thought it was appropriate, and it helped me a little bit. I'm not in a funk. I'm in an anxious state. So, but just listening to that helped that as well. Yeah. And I also want to tell everybody, here's another thing that will help you. If you come and start working on your business, if you want to make more than $250,000 a year, you can't do better than the 100 Days to Greatness. And Jimmy and I are going to do that starting this Friday from 1 to 3. $395. You just can't beat it. And I think what Karen was telling us, Jimmy, is there's actually 14 sessions, not 21, because a couple of the modules you watch more than one module at a time. So, but anyway, just wanted to put that out. I put another email out to everybody this morning to please sign up. I think we have about 10 people so far, Jimmy. So we can take a few more.
I know I have a couple that went to the site that weren't able to figure it out. So I know I have at least 2 more. Yeah.
And then they can come on Friday, and then we can just get them signed up. Yeah, not a problem. So that's it for today. Any words of wisdom, Mr. Dag?
Well, I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll save them for Friday, because I do want to talk about Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Outwitting the Devil. He wrote it in 1938, and his wife said, "You're not publishing that. You just wrote Think and Grow Rich or all these great books, and you're so popular. If you publish this Outwitting the Devil, you'll flame out. You can't do it." So his publisher promised him he wouldn't publish it until he died. Well, the publisher got the book, and his wife read it, and she said, "We're not publishing this until you're dead." So the book actually got published in 2010, I think it was, 2011. But he wrote it in 1938. And the biggest thing in the book is drift.
Drift.
It's the biggest thing in the book. When you read that book, the point that pops out at you is drift. Am I drifting? And the silent killer. And
it is.
You just talked about that.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that. That sounds fantastic. And I'll probably do some more Facebook things tomorrow. Dive a little deeper into some Facebook tips. And that's it for today. I love everybody. Please sign up for Buffini. It can change your life.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks, Jimmy, for joining me.
You're welcome. I'll see you Friday.
Okay. Bye-bye.